What's up? This is the Fat Red Dragon from the 420 Grindhouse, and you're listening to The Debbie Daily Show.
You know, if I say something, I mean it. These things happen. Yeah.
If I ever said I'm never scared, just know I mean it. If I ever said I fuck your bitch, just know I mean it. And if I ever said I'm getting money, just know I mean it. And oh Lord knows, he knows I mean it. Yeah. You know I mean it. You know I mean it. Just know I mean it. Just know I mean it. Oh yeah.
If I say that shit, then I mean it. She calls me, I screen it. I'm only fucking if it's convenient. You lie on pussy, that's weak shit. We pass pussy round, that's G shit. But you ain't fam, so what is this we shit? You cuff yours and then leash shit. Listen, I'm telling you, it's my world. I does what I wish to. If you're mad, well, too bad. Sounds like a personal issue. I walk in, they all stare like, who the fuck is this dude? Kicks game is just rude. Don't get jujitsu'd. Tunnel visions, I get ahead. Stay solid, I never fled. My haters feel like I'm better dead, but I'm quite alive, getting bread instead. With a better girl, with a better face, I'm in a better place, getting better head. I just wanna stay broke forever. Yeah, that's that shit no one ever said.
Never scared. Just know I mean it. If I ever said I fuck your bitch, just know I mean it. And if I ever said I'm getting money, just know I mean it.
Which was totally inappropriate.
Victor's cracking up. It was totally inappropriate. It was an absolute
Totally
insult.
inappropriate.
It was horrible.
I know. Did you spank your own hand or anything?
No, I gave myself a high five. It was a great insult. Is this my guy from North Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where you spent most of your days? What's going on with you?
I'm on.
You my gangbanger holding down North Philly?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did that then, because I was going to get into my super jaded mode, and that's always a downer.
I was probably going to get into an argument.
You call it super jaded and Jake just goes ghetto.
Trust me, you got plenty of time to sleep when you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Soothing thought. Thank you. Thank you, Ortongo.
Very calming.
Very calming. Boy, I wish I knew who you were. You little mullet.
What's wrong with you? It's either this show or indigestion. I hope it's indigestion.
Why?
It'll get better in a little while. I wonder if there's anything she isn't good at.
Yes? Choosing what show to be on.
I wish that somebody in there could tell this guy to take his mask off. I got a feeling this little bastard's the ringleader on this deal, but... Hey, I love Oggs, but to hang around me, you've got to have thick skin. What is it with girls nowadays? They want to sound like they're 5. It's a gateway drug. It's not a gateway drug. Shut up and get high, you old bitch. I get so tired of being right. It's like right. On the fake radio, blog talk radio, fake internet radio air. believe that Jesus was the Son of God. I'm asking you to reference a history book that is just as real as reading about Benjamin Franklin. Hit me again and put some stank on it. I'm joking. That's not funny. I know it's not funny because a lot of girls get hit. You know, I mean, come on, girls. Haven't you ever seen a burning bed? Moving right along. No, wait. See out there rolling and folding while you're driving? Welcome to the program, Bullet Guy 37. I do believe it's because I do believe it's because I do it.
Shout out to all the mean guys. Y'all gotta remember, Deb Daly's white. So you can't be calling her a because it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I'm one of your biggest fans too, Debbie. I don't think I can go more than a day without hearing your show, whether it's live or on the podcast. I think you got a good thing going on here.
Just because they don't believe in God, they think all that was bullshit. The only thing that is questionable at this point, people, is whether or not that man, who is a history figure, who was born, who walked the earth, his name was Jesus and his last name was Christ, Jesus Christ. The only reason that you have to doubt is whether or not he was the Son of God, the creator of this whole mess we're living in, okay? That's the only thing. Other than that, I can assure you, as well as I'm sitting here talking today, that he was a real person. A lot of people, like the Jews, think of him as a prophet. I just realized I didn't open a chat room, so it's open now, so y'all can all pile in. $5, drink it around.
Debbie Daly Show.
Tell you, don't worry about it. It's always great when people are talking about you, because when they're talking about you, they're worried about you.
The Debbie Daly Show. What's up? This is the Fat Red Dragon from the 420 Grindhouse, and you're listening to the Debbie Daly Show.
They're so angry at their own sense of lack of accomplishment, and the only thing they can do is blame someone else for it. And when they're worried about you, you've got them where you want them.
The Debbie Daly Show.
All right, we are live here on the broadcast. Let me turn me up a little bit. There we go. Okay, give me a mic check, Mr. Solution.
Mike?
Oh, I lost.
Hello? What is that?
Yeah, give me a mic check. Can I hear? Yeah, say something.
Hello?
Why do you sound so good tonight? Did you get a new microphone, Mr. Solution?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Why do you sound so much better?
3M tuned it up for me. I don't know. This is a lower quality. I heard you talk the other night talking about turning up your mic, and I went like, what the hell is that?
You sound like you're in a home studio.
I think, do you recall sometimes on terrestrial radio, positionally, you get better reception. I think Skype is like that. Skype is the updated version of the old directional antenna of a terrestrial radio, particularly AM.
You could be right.
Is that a good description?
That's a good description.
Because the thing of it is, the quality, it varies. And I think maybe we're in a zone of good quality right now. But it won't last.
Did you happen to listen to my show last night I did with the guys here? You were spotlighted at one part. And I was giving you mad props on the way you were handling somebody, what's his name? Tyrone. You were talking, it wasn't bad, it wasn't ugly. You were talking to Tyrone about his being an atheist. And I was very impressed with how you handled it. I wanted to show you that tonight while we wait on our caller. Now, we are waiting on a caller tonight that's going to be, I hope, laying down passing the peace pipe on a few things and letting us prove to him that we are good, or I speak for myself, honest people that are here to get along with everybody. And let's take a listen to this. I want Mr. Solution to hear what was said last night. It was pretty funny.
But now it's legal. At one point in time, the lottery wasn't legal in a lot of places, and I think that's... Hold on. Everybody pause. We're not going to talk over each other. We got to keep pushing along. Greg, we got your main idea,
me or Uncle Billy or whoever to get them out. And that's not true. Every single homicide report has got...
I love Sarge. Okay, it's not that
I
one.
like to hear that one, though. That was interesting.
So let's go up. I want to show you the one, Mr. Because I have to play to the audience here. So let's try this one. I bet this is...
Jackson, they don't need us going out and getting more information. They don't need us to...
And to...
Let me ask Chef and nobody a question before you do that anymore. I really want to know...
We have I want to hear what you have to say. I can read and research about as well as you.
Well, here's the deal with that, Ms.
Beasley and I are cool.
Here's the deal with that, Ms. I'm not a scientist, right? So in order for me to articulate all those terms, I would have to know exactly what process happens when, blah, blah, blah. And it's a very complicated term.
No, but let me tell you this, Tyrone. I understand all of that. I understand that. I understand the law of non-contradiction, which is what all reasonable thought must follow. And the thing of it is,
he's going to piss them off with all that intelligent talk. Do they get mad? Did they really gang up on him on this show? Because I've never heard it. Obviously, I couldn't even find it. That's me on the show, Mr. Solution. Okay. Is anybody there?
Oh, I am here. This isn't the one. This isn't the one. But let's hear this one because this seems pretty interesting.
Reality. You have to
Mr. Solution, you handle this. You handle this with such finesse, with such class. I was more impressed than I've ever been with a man that was being ambushed. Just watch and let me show you why I have respect for you. Watch. Just keep listening.
I'm not positioned to argue that that type of work. You know, that's not what I do.
Yeah, but see, the thing of it is,
I don't believe.
Yeah, but see, this is the problem, Tyrone. You make these grand statements. When you say you are an atheist, theist, a before a noun reverses it. So you say there is no God. You would do better saying you're ignorant, which is an agnostic. Agnosis, no knowledge.
No. Here's why. I can tell you why I take that position. I take that position because as I read that Bible, there's nowhere in the world that Bible is true. Nothing in that Bible is true to me. So that's
wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, first of all, forget the Bible. Now, I love the Bible. The Bible is one of the greatest educational books on the planet in terms of history, prose, poetry, what have you, okay? I could take the Bible and teach any academic subject. You don't know the Bible, but let's forget the Bible a minute. Let's just lay it on the shelf. Where the hell did everything come from? You've got to answer that.
No, I don't have to answer that. And here's why. Because I am not making the claim that these people exist. You guys are. And whenever you make a claim...
I understand. That's true.
Okay,
and what we're saying is, and what I'm saying is, there has to... When we deal with the law of cause and effect, I'm talking about laws now, not hypotheses, not theories. Laws. The law of cause and effect.
He's got him over a barrel. There's no doubt about it. He's got Tyrone over a barrel. He's making perfect sense in my mind. He's making perfect sense.
Fact.
Well, that's me on the show
last night. The law of cause and effect.
He's saying that if you claim to be an atheist, that means that you've done your homework. That's me on the show. And you now cannot understand something coming from nothing. You don't just say, oh, I'm an atheist just because it sounds cool and it's what all the celebrities say and your life kind of sucks and therefore you don't believe in God. To call yourself an atheist, you need to back that up with reasons why you call yourself an atheist. Not just because I've never seen God. That's fourth graders. I've never, do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I believe that's what Mr. Solution is saying to this person. And he would say to anybody. That was me on the show last night talking to Miss. Okay. I knew you were going to do that. You're so cute. You never can tell if.
Okay, you got to say. Oh,
I'm sorry. I was talking to Mr. Midnight Movie and Jewish producer, but stay with it another 1 minute and 43 seconds. Watch what I do. I mean, watch what you do and watch what the response to it is. To be honest with you, this is me on the show. He's putting up a wonderful argument, to be honest with you. But
says for every effect, that's F-E-C-T. For every effect, there must be an antecedent cause, sufficient cause. So scientists will tell you readily the universe is an effect. So what's the cause? You can't avoid that, and neither can I, and I don't. Oh. But anyway, look, I do enjoy your show. It is entertaining, all the fights. I hope you and Vic make up. I think you.
Okay, now here's what I think happens, in my opinion. This is me on the show right now, live, Mr. Solution, on Tuesday night. I think that what Tyrone did, and Tyrone could be listening. Tyrone, if you're listening, this is me being honest. I think that in the next few minutes, you more or less ambush Mr. Solution. And the reason I know you do this is you are in control of unmuting and muting those callers. And I think that behind Mr. Solution's unbeknownst to him, you unmute two gentlemen that viciously and unwarrantingly attack Mr. Solution. But Mr. Solution handles it brilliantly and quite humorously, in my opinion, and you will see that now. And if you're out there, good God Allah, Poverty Supreme, I've heard them call you Greg. Please call in this show. It's 214-444-5488. We're waiting to hear from you. We welcome you on the show. We come in peace. And again, in 3, 2, 1, you're going to hear Debbie on the show last night or Mr. Solution. 3, 2, 1.
Guys, Beasley called me boring. I'm one of the most exciting guys on fucking BTR.
Beasley just sent me a message through Telegraph. He said that in order for him to come on the show, you're going to have to pay him. This is what he just said to me.
Hey, but look here, Greg is supposed to, we're going to do a show on, if you haven't gotten pissed off with Supreme, we're going to do an economic show. And I wanted those guys because I have spotted them as intelligent. They are successful. And you could even come on the fucking panel. I don't have a problem with, because you hide.
Wow.
I think you're hypocritical. I'm sorry, someone's talking in the background.
Oh, listen to your bullshit, man.
Hell that nigga, Chef. This motherfucker right here, high as fuck.
This motherfucker. You know what he tells you? He tells you ridiculous shit like, ask God to go ahead and give you the understanding so you can go ahead and deal with the Bible. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Hey, Chef Rob, I would shred your ass in any intelligent conversation. Hold it. You are a discombobulated man bitch. Shut up.
A discombobulated man bitch.
That man, look, that, you know what?
Discombobulated man bitch.
Hey, Debbie, the problem is, on that show, first of all, Tyrone, and I'm going to ask him when I get a chance, I don't think that Tyrone has a degree from any accredited or reputable
No. I don't believe he
institution
does
of higher
either.
learning.
Nope.
Tyrone is a very scary, and he's an ignorant man. Now, he stumbled into success, but he can't even promote his own success. And this is the ultimate of someone who's cowardly.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. I agree with you. I'm not just agreeing with you to agree with you. Right. I'm going to agree with you because I had a very smart man tell me one time, you learn how to write in high school, you learn how to speak in college.
Right. But see, his problem is he can't promote the military. Now, the thing, 3M and I were talking about this just a moment ago. Wealthy people live the same no matter who they are, no matter what ethnicity they are, they live the same. If you talk about the poor black people, they're going to be challenged by the Hispanics or by the Latinos. The Latinos are going to kick their asses. None of the groups, I was listening to Maxine Waters today, and she was pissed off with this judge out of Texas, which I really take my hat off to, who set aside President Obama's executive order to just give the country to these illegals. Now, what the lower class blacks are not in a position to compete with the Hispanics. The Hispanics have a lot of help, so their efforts are amplified. The illegals, I'm talking about the illegals. The NAACP, the Black Caucus, none of those groups are helping blacks. They're giving this money to, and 3M and I talked about it, and we can get the exact figure, but I think with the Hispanic family of 4, under what's called the Earned Income Credit, they're able to get roughly $30,000 when they file their tax returns. And this is money that American blacks are not getting. So Obama and all the so-called black political groups are saying to blacks, fuck you. That's what they're saying. Fuck you. Hold it, let me just finish this. They're going to give all the assets to the illegals. Now, if that doesn't tell the lower class blacks, and I'm talking lower class economically, that's what I'm talking about. If that doesn't tell them what time it is, I don't know what does. There are resources, but their resources are being given to people who shouldn't even be in the country.
And that is who voted for Mr. Obama.
And wait a minute. These groups are these pro-black groups are actually more anti-white than they are pro-black.
Okay.
Because these groups see these these groups, these NAACP, you can just go down the list of all of these pro-black groups. They see them as another group of brown people in solidarity against their biggest enemy, which are whites.
Well, now, you've been saying this a lot lately, and I want to know, where do you get this information, Mr. Midnight Movie?
You know what? All you got to do is go to any black student union and Latino student union, and they're like this. And their biggest complaint is historically what the white man has been doing for years, and when this country turns predominantly people of color, it's going to be hooray, hooray. That's what they believe. But they got, you know what? Be careful.
Now, is this your opinion, or is this?
Oh, no. This is not my opinion. Talk to anybody who is, look at any group that is pro-black, really ultra pro-black and ultra Afrocentric, and they will tell you that, bring them, let them all come in. They are
3M. I'm sorry, 3M. Share with Debbie what you and I discussed. Now, you're saying the blacks are being hoodwinked and bamboozled because the Hispanics, they may act as if they're working with the blacks, but they're not. And you spoke of employment. You remember when you mentioned Terry Anderson?
Yeah.
We were just talking about it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, and there's a tape of that. Terry Anderson used to have a show, and I think it was nationwide, and he used to complain bitterly about what the illegal aliens were doing to the country. And he talked about a turning point for him when he was in one of his, a burger joint that was in South Central. And he said there was, all black customers and everyone behind the counter was Latino. And as he was ordering his food, he said that he asked the person, he said, you know what, my nephew, he's 16 years old, summertime's coming up, he's got his work permit, and wondering if, you guys could give him a job, help him out. And they said to him, we only hire Latinos. And he said, I'm going to order my food, and this is the last time I'm coming here. That is racist. Never came back since. And from that day on, he started to look into this illegal alien problem. And they even got him on the radio just saying, stupid people of America, wake up. And his motto was, if you're not mad, you're not paying attention. But like I said, every one of these so-called civil rights groups that is pro-black is also, pro-illegal immigration.
Right.
And like I said, because they're more anti-white and more fighting the system against the so-called white man,
right,
than they are looking out for their own interest or the interest of the poorest of their people, the people that need the help the most. They're not really interested in all that. And like I said, if times really get bad, the poor in this country, and particularly the poor blacks, they're going to be fucking butt raped. That's just what's going to happen. Bottom line.
Well, they're already, 3M, if I may say, that's already happening. And the whole point is just like you said, that is a horrible confusion. And that is just stupidity on steroids. These groups who come in here, particularly the Hispanics, are more racist. Well, really what they are is they're for themselves. And like the upper class of people are not, in other words, they're not down there. They're not competing with that. But the lower class blacks and the Hispanics are going to win.
Well, there's only so much pie to go around. And if we've got 8 pieces of pie, 7 of which are going to illegal aliens, that doesn't just leave a whole lot of the pie here, people. That's what we're talking about. Right. Now, I have something here that is going to go against what Mr. Midnight Movie said, which is African Americans are saying no to illegal immigration, and then also Mexican illegal aliens are targeting Black Americans for just take a listen to this. This is interesting.
Authorities charge this was a gang turf war that spilled over into racially motivated shootings. Today, 61 members of the Florencia 13 gang from southern Los Angeles County face federal organized crime charges that allege that some members of this Latino gang shot and killed African Americans, some of them criminals, but some not, in order to monopolize the illegal drug trade. A table full of guns.
That's not really what I was going to play. I accidentally played the wrong one. I've got these in my history that I kept from a long time ago. And this one is going to tell us in 2 short minutes why African Americans should not support what is going on right now in America, which is what we're talking about.
I support illegal immigrants, especially as a black person. And I'll tell you why. Now, we as black people, we fought for civil rights in this country. Every minority benefits from the struggles that our ancestors had to put up with. But you see, these other minorities, as I've demonstrated in other videos, other minorities and other ethnicities in general, they do not have your best interest at hand at all. And you can listen to all their interviews when they talk about, people should have watched the latest Black Channel.
See, I disagree. And the reason I say this, Mr. Midnight Movie, respectfully, I mean, you know that we're friends, but I did research on this it looks like in October of 2014. And I found out, and my research told me that most African Americans in this country are against illegal aliens. And you're saying that they are for.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying that.
Hold on.
No, but please let me. I'm not saying that that as a whole, blacks are not against illegal immigration. They are. But I'm saying their leadership is not. And every group, just about every group that is for civil rights that was founded to help blacks is more anti-white and anti-American than they are pro-black.
You're sure? I mean, Well,
look at the NAACP. Like I said, any civil rights organization, just about every civil rights organization is in favor of amnesty. You can check that out. That there is a difference between the populace as a whole and the leadership. And those who are in leadership positions are in favor of granting amnesty to illegal aliens. They cater to them.
Okay.
Yeah, let me.
Okay, I have a statement here. I have a statement here from the executive vice president of the NAACP. When you're through.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say I agree with 3M, but I would phrase it differently. I don't know if it's being against whites, but I do know they're more pro illegal alien, emphasis on illegal, than they are pro-black or pro-black Americans. Go ahead.
The executive vice president, chief of programs of the NAACP, the executive vice president, said in a more recent interview, "I am humbled and honored by the opportunity to lead Amnesty International USA, the organization that has not just led but effectively defined the global human rights agenda for more than 50 years. I am looking forward to working with their excellent team to continue to expose human rights abuses and mobilize the American public." I think Mr. Midnight Movie may be right. Why would they do something like this when the illegal aliens are what are taking out of their pockets?
Like I said, those who get into the leadership position have this position. Those who are the most militant, a lot of them are anti-white. They see the struggle is continuing, and they latch on to any struggle that is anti, that they see is racist. I mean, the true fact of the matter is, until 1965, until the Immigration Reform Act, and racist or not, we gave priority to European Americans, and they see the struggle as continuing, and they see the struggle of this being a European nation not a good thing. If they're honest, that's what they see, and they see themselves in solidarity with these Latino groups. And and the one thing that sucks is our tax dollars fund these groups in college. And like I said, any group that would be anti-illegal immigration are in favor of American principles and American values, they would get shut down. But anti-American groups, like in my opinion La Raza and even the Black Student Union, they get funded to the hilt. As a matter of fact, La Raza, both the Republicans and Democrats basically cater to these groups and speak in front of them. And they're, like I said, they're against many of our values. And 57% of recent immigrants get on some form of welfare program. And it's like they're going to be money takers, not money makers. Okay.
Right. Let me comment on that. I see it slightly differently, and I don't even like politics because I think most politicians are whores. they're just bought off by lobbyists and special interests. But at any rate, I think it's more in terms of what's popular, because the Democratic Party is pro illegal immigration because it has to do with labor and what they think is progressivity and also votes. And I think the groups of blacks, remember, people who call themselves black or white, really, it's all about green. And so when you get black Americans in powerful positions, just like with Barack Obama, and I've said all the time, Barack Obama is not black. That's stupid. He is privileged and powerful in most cases more than the vast majority of so-called whites. So I think it's more about economic status than anything else and wanting to be popular within those class circles. So the popular thing is to get civil rights off the table, as they have, and get illegal immigrant rights on the table. But the interesting thing about illegal immigrants, they're walking into the perfect situation to benefit what happened as a result of the civil rights movement. They get all of those benefits. And the people who are in position of representing blacks, like we said, the NAACP and the Black Caucus, which is a political group, they don't give a shit about the low-class blacks. They are representing the illegal aliens. And so I believe for those reasons, those said reasons, and these people that are in those positions are in the upper echelon. They are middle and above in terms of class structure. And so they don't care about the lower class blacks, and the lower class blacks don't require that they represent them. And that's exactly what's happening.
Debbie, I just sent into your box and it's a short one if you guys want to listen to it. Ben Shapiro talks about illegal immigrants or Latino immigrants.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Is it in our group box?
It's not. I guess I sent it to your individual one.
Okay.
I didn't send it in the group one, but it's.
I got it.
Hi, I'm Ben Shapiro, and this is Reality Check. After the last election cycle, conservative columnist Charles Krauthammer wrote what has now become the conventional wisdom in conservative circles with regard to Hispanic immigrants. He wrote, quote, "They should be a natural Republican constituency. Striving immigrant community, religious, Catholic, family-oriented, and socially conservative. On abortion, for example, the principal reason they go Democratic is the issue of illegal immigrants." This argument has driven many conservatives, including the entire upper echelon of the Republican Party, to push for legalization of millions upon millions of illegal immigrants. The solution, Krauthammer suggests, to the problem of shifting demographics is this, quote, "border fence plus amnesty." Yes, amnesty. Use the word. Reality check. There are individual Hispanic immigrants who are natural conservatives. But to suggest that conservatives are one piece of amnesty legislation from victory across the broad swath of Hispanic immigrants, it just ain't true. So, are Hispanics in America a striving immigrant community, religious, Catholic, family-oriented, socially conservative? Let's look at some of the numbers. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, 57% of new immigrant households with kids were using at least one welfare program in 2009. Overall, 37% of immigrant households are on a welfare program compared with just 22% of native-born Americans. So yeah, immigrants are dependent on government by a far larger margin than native-born Americans, which means they tend to lean left on the question of big government. By the way, polls show that Hispanic immigrants lean left on the issue of big government. In April 2012, Pew Hispanic poll showed 81% of Hispanic immigrants want bigger government with more services. Only 41% of Americans overall want bigger government with more services. Just 12% of Hispanic immigrants want smaller government with less services. Exit polls in 2012 showed that 61% of Hispanics wanted Obamacare expanded or left as is, which makes sense. Virtually all of the countries from which Hispanic immigrants come are socialist in orientation. Many of them are socialist dictatorships. and America no longer bothers to push ideological integration into a small government philosophy. Well, how about that notion that Hispanics are a burgeoning religious class who agree with conservatives on social issues? Not so much. 53% of Hispanic children are now born out of wedlock. According to 2012 exit polls, 59% of Hispanic voters wanted same-sex marriage legalized. 66% said abortion should be legal in most or all cases. And in their own lives, Hispanics are becoming less, not more religious. 1 in 4 Hispanic adults, according to Pew, are now former Catholics. Rising numbers of Hispanics are non-religious. Overall, the Catholic share of Hispanics has dropped 12 percentage points over the last 4 years alone. And even so-called religious Catholic Hispanics tend toward leftism. The poll shows 49% of Catholic Hispanics favor same-sex marriage. Overall, 58% of Catholic Hispanics identify as Democratic or leaning that way. Does that sound like a naturally conservative constituency just an amnesty away from voting for the right? And yet this seems to be the conservative plan, which is absolute lunacy. As Mark Steyn wrote after the 2012 election regarding amnesty, he said, "So, if I follow correctly, instead of getting 27% of the 10% Hispanic vote, Republicans are going to get, 38% of the 25% Hispanic vote and sweep to victory." Amnesty is not the answer to wooing Hispanic voters to conservatism. Treating them as individuals with life stories and life experiences and deeply held principles, as opposed to broad stereotypes, is.
Thank you, Ben. Back to the studio here with me, Mr. Solution, and Mr. Midnight Movie. Comments, gentlemen?
Yeah, I would just say that Mexico, let's not forget the power that Mexico has. They say, and I haven't been to Mexico in a while, but if you go to Mexico, you will see so many American corporations down there for cheap labor primarily, and the ease of business establishment. So Mexico has a very strong arm in the American Congress, and they're pushing for illegal immigration. They even assisted. They put water, and at one point they were putting water and other supplies out in the desert, and also maps for their people to migrate to America. And it's a win-win situation for them because they're sending their lower class to America, and they're getting big benefits. I wish you guys would look up how much a family of 3 illegal immigrants were going to get, and possibly will get, before this federal judge set aside Obama's executive order to, in essence, allow amnesty for illegal immigrants. Look up that amount. I think it's about $30,000 for a family of 4. That's cash money.
Okay, overview of immigrant eligibility and federal programs. I'll look that up in just a second. Y'all talk for about 3 minutes for me. 1 second.
Go ahead, 3M. I know you have a lot to say.
Well, like I said, I think Ben Shapiro said it all, and we're not going to be gaining anything. We're going to be losing things, and basically, it seems like the foundation of our country is going to be kind of just eroded, and our standard of living is going to be stands a chance of being much lowered when you have a group of poor people who are dependent on the welfare state, and the expansion of our government is going to probably be, the lessening of our rights in the smaller of our citizens.
Well, let me. Had you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to say over.
Over.
There you go. All right. The thing is, what you just said is not true, because those people, those illegals, are only competing with the whoever the lower class Americans are, lower socioeconomic status. They're not competing with me, and they're not competing with you, right?
Oh, but Mr. Solution, hold on a second. When you expand, when they get the right to vote, and they vote for the expansion of government, a lot of more times than not lessens our rights. It doesn't give us more rights, and they are a large tax base, and they're going to be tax takers. So you and me, as and Debbie, as tax-paying citizens, we're going to have to shell out more money for these parasites.
Well, I think you're being pretty harsh there, but anyway, those are your words. But allow me to say this to you. Now, I'm just having the conversation. It doesn't matter who's in office. I don't care who's in office. Do you think, and I'm just asking you, do you think wealthy people really care who's in office? Think about it.
Well, I mean,
no, they don't.
Okay.
They're going to be wealthy no matter who's in office. You don't understand wealth.
Are you asking, do I understand wealth?
No, what I'm saying to you, if you understood wealth, you would understand the question I asked. It doesn't matter who is in office. The wealthy can afford whomever they need to create what they want.
Define wealth.
There are other ways of going about something than through government.
Define what you consider wealthy.
Well, wealthy, and that's a very good question, and there is variation, but a wealthy is a person who is able to navigate the system, with ease.
So what you're saying is that the ease of this system, are you saying that illegal aliens and that these individuals aren't going to care, that they're going to be paid more in taxes, and when the government expands, say one of these wealthy people owns a business, and it's and they're taxed more because they got to pay for more people. I mean, more welfare, more food stamps, more health care. You don't think that hurts the infrastructure? I mean, our basic infrastructure?
Okay, let me explain one little... I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Let me just explain one little premise of economics. Businesses don't pay taxes. Do you know what they do? They collect taxes. Because a business will pass on any tax that it receives in its product and or service.
Stop. I walked back in. I was on the phone. I called a friend of mine. I heard Mr. Solution say that businesses don't pay taxes. They collect taxes. Okay. You're partially right. However, when I collect 941 taxes, I have to match it. So.
You don't pay capital gains tax?
I pay income tax.
Yeah.
I paid, since we've been in business, well, we won't go there. But
Debbie,
yes,
let me ask you a question about that. Okay, overall, businesses, like I say, they collect taxes, they pass it on. Whatever taxes they are burdened with, they pass it on through their product or service by the increase in price. And the other thing, I'll just use a principle Robert Kiyosaki offers, and it's this. An individual earns money, they pay taxes, and they live on what's left over. Whereas a business earns money, it spends, and it pays taxes on what's left over. That's why a lot of businesses will give perks to their employees, like sending them to school and this sort of thing. This is the business spending its money to ultimately increase its revenue. So, would you agree with that?
Sure. I mean, but what percent of Americans live on that? And
I think
also,
he was talking to me. I think he was talking to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Victor just came in to help us answer some of these questions. Victor, what all taxes as a business owner do you pay?
You have to pay. You're actually withholding the taxes of the employee. So you're actually just keeping that, and then you make the federal deposit, and then you have to match that. So that's all you're doing is matching what they had.
But that comes out of your pocket.
Well, yeah, out of the business, correct.
Okay. What else do you pay out of the business as taxes? What are 940s?
That's not very much at all. It's just
okay.
Yeah.
What about? Go ahead.
So that's it. That's it.
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm sorry,
Solution.
Vic. Let me ask you, Vic, a question. How are you, Vic? How are you doing?
He said great.
Okay, good. Well, Vic, I would ask you, which would you prefer to be from a tax standpoint and an economic enrichment standpoint, an employee or the owner of a business?
Go ahead.
Definitely the owner of the business.
Definitely. Because there are more tax advantages. You can maneuver much more than an individual can. And also, you adjust the individual's wages, correct?
Correct.
There you go.
And also, every person that walks in the door that pays for our services, we pocket. They don't. They get paid an hourly rate. If somebody walks in and pays $10,000 to the company, well, guess who gets the $10,000? The company. Victor, exactly, not the employee.
That's right.
I mean, that's just looking at it very, whatever.
So do you agree with Kiyosaki's fundamental principle that a business, and he makes it very simple, which is what I like, a business earns, it spends, and it pays on what's left over. And whereas an individual earns, they are taxed, and they spend what's left over. So a business's incentive is to spend as much of its revenue on itself as it can.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. That's exactly right. We both said that at the same time, which is why anything we purchase, it is business. Exactly. Bingo.
Did you get that, 3M? And Debbie, did you concur with my point? Is that those, say, the lower class, you don't see them as competing against you, do you?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, they're competing against each other.
Let me tell you about a girl that works for Vic. There's a girl that works for Vic that is the same age as Heather. She makes about the same money as Heather. She's married to an illegal alien and has 2 babies by him. Heather paid about 3 weeks ago. She wrote a check for $2,700 for daycare for Jet, for the baby. She pays, the other girl that works for Vic, pays $32 a week because she has what's called a voucher. She gives a voucher to the same caliber of daycare, and her child gets to pay $32, whereas Heather's is charged $171 a week. Simply because she makes the same amount of money that Heather does. She makes good money. But because she's married to an illegal alien and has 2 babies by him, she gets a voucher that allows her to pay $32 a week. Now, make sense of that. Are y'all still there?
I'm still here.
Make sense of that.
Go ahead, 3M.
Mr. Midnight Movie, are you watching TV?
I was adjusting my my pants.
I'll comment. Debbie, I think what you're saying is in terms of economics, is that the lady is being given leverage by the system, economic leverage.
And makes as much as Heather does.
Right.
Makes sense of that. Heather's not married. That's not fair.
But this lady is being given, you said she's being given a voucher.
Yes.
That's a subsidy, correct?
Exactly. Now tell me how that's fair. Why doesn't Heather get one? Heather's struggling probably harder than her because her lawn mowing husband, who doesn't pay taxes and pockets his stuff, they're probably making more money than Heather is. Explain that.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying. Yes.
It's ludicrous the way this country is ran. It's ludicrous. And you people out there that voted for Obama, do a little gut check now and see how Obama's helping you out, buddy. He is El Burrito Happy-O right now. Just saying.
there's no such thing as a free lunch, and sooner or later you're going to have to pay the piper.
There is in Texas.
Well, no, that's not. Wait a minute. 3M. Knock.
Go ahead. I'm here, baby.
There are free lunches. There are a lot of free lunches. It's just who gets them. Now, the wealthy, the real wealthy, get a lot of free things. They get all kinds of breaks, tax breaks. Look at capital gains, how it's taxed. You don't think that's a break?
Well, like I said, I mean, if you're really wealthy and you're lucky enough to have a business, there are many people that aren't. Most Americans are not able to do that, and most Americans, like I said, they work for somebody. They don't work for someone else. But even the wealthy should be concerned because, like I said, if things go to pot, I mean, we are $18 trillion in debt. And if the more poor people we add on, that's the more groups that are going to make us be in debt because they're tax takers. They're not giving money to the system; they're taking money from it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm going to do two things. Define wealthy. You asked me to do that earlier, but I want to. Yes. I want you, and I'm going to make it very simple. I want you to define what does it mean go to pot? What in terms of what you just said?
Look, I mean, there's always a possibility that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm always thinking that there's a possibility that we won't be able to secure our debts, or like be able to pay out things like Social Security and the other social safety nets. They won't be there because the country will be bankrupt or be able to pay very little. Or the possibility of absolutely hyperinflation like they had in Germany. I mean, I'm always thinking that that's a possibility. I could be absolutely wrong.
Well,
I don't know why you're
let
laughing.
me tell you two. Okay. Well, one thing is this: look at GNP. As related to the national debt. And I think you'll see that it's not as dire. I'm not saying it's not serious, but it's not as dire as you are forecasting. And also, allow me to just use a term, the economy resets. If the economy resets, do you think the people at the bottom are all of a sudden going to be on the top? I'm just asking.
Well, what gave you the idea that that's going to happen? No, if they're struggling, the poor are going to be the worst hit, and the more poor you are, the worse you're going to be able to survive.
So, what will change?
Oh, we have some news hot off the wire, boys. Come across the border, everybody. Come across the border. Get across the border, and guess what? Enroll your children in school in Texas, and we'll not only teach them English, don't worry about it. We're going to feed them for free. Did you know that? We're going to feed them breakfast and lunch. According to the school program regulations at 7 CFR, the required school food authorities, required school food authorities, that's hard to say, the SFAs, participating in the National School Lunch Program to ensure sufficient funds are provided to the nonprofit school food service account for meals served to students not eligible for school meals. How about that? Now, there's two ways to meet the requirement, either through the prices charged for paid meals. How about that, boys? We're going to jack up the prices to the people that can afford to feed their kids. And those are going to subsidize the free ones. Come on over the border. Don't worry about it. Come on, move in. We'll probably even pay for your housing. Go, and back to you in the studio, Mr. Solution and Mr. Midnight Movie.
Debbie, you should find out. Yeah, thank you. You should find out who that judge is, and we should bless his name. The one that set aside Obama's executive orders for virtually amnesty for the illegals. That judge should be commended. That's a good judge.
We'll find out just in 10 seconds. You know me. There's nothing that Debbie can't find.
Yeah, there you go. Now, 3M, did you get the point that I just made to you? And I'm just sharing with you Economics 101, or this may be 205, actually. But do you understand, even if the system reset, or what you call go to pot, as I said, number one, the poor are not going to be on top, and the wealthy are still going to be wealthy. So not very much will happen, except the poor will be in a worse condition, right?
Mr. Midnight Movie.
Each rung down will, the really wealthy, probably nothing will happen, but each rung down will suffer a little bit more if we go to, if we go to pot. I mean, the fact of the matter is, wealthy people suffered during the Depression, and actually there are people that during the Depression that lost their life savings in the blink of an eye. And in Germany, everybody, just about everybody, was suffering under the hyperinflation. So, like I said, the possibility of a catastrophe hitting a lot of people, and if you're talking about the 1%, what about the rest of us 99% who are going to suffer? And when the wealthy suffer any kind of way, that affects everybody.
Debbie, we really need to have an economics course. But Debbie, do you see...
I got to go.
Oh, you're leaving?
Why do you have to go?
Before you leave, though, Debbie, do you see yourself as being impacted in this so-called financial Armageddon?
Oh, absolutely. But we do have a news report coming up. Are you there? Come in, news report. Yes, Debbie. This is Debbie broadcasting in the field today. Cut the playback, Matilda. A federal judge in Texas is set to rule on President Obama's executive amnesty. On February the 16th, on the AP Wire, a federal judge in Texas is expected to rule shortly on a lawsuit filed by 26 states asking him to declare President Obama's executive amnesty unconstitutional under the Take Care That the Laws Be Faithfully Executed clause of the United States Constitution. Under a 6-page directive issued by the Department of Homeland Security, Secretary Jed Johnson, DHS, will start accepting applications under Obama's expanded Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or the DACA program, Wednesday, unless United States District Court Judge Andrew Hanen issues a ruling blocking the department from proceeding. During oral arguments on the case in his packed courtroom in January, Judge Hanen, a George Bush appointee, said that the Southern District of Texas was the ideal place to decide the executive amnesty issue because, quote unquote, talking to anyone in Brownsville about immigration is like talking to Noah about the flood. And the DHS directive purports to create legal rights for millions of undocumented immigrants, and it does so by rewriting the immigration laws and contradicting the priorities adopted by Congress. The lawsuit argued, pointing out that Obama himself admitted that, quote, he took an action to change the law after repeatedly stating publicly that he had no legal authority to do so. The plaintiffs in the case pointed out that the president, quote unquote, repeatedly and forcefully urged Congress to pass the DREAM Act, which would have allowed illegal immigrants to apply for permanent resident status if they entered the United States before their 16th birthdays and remained in the United States continuously for 5 years. But neither congressional chamber passed the DREAM, as they noted. And it goes on and on and on. But to answer your question, that is the beautiful United States District Court Judge Andrew Hanen.
My hat's off to that judge. But Debbie and 3M, if you're still there, and I hope you are, look how proactive Obama is. He's like proactive on steroids.
Why? Why is he doing that? Do you know? Does anybody know? Can we speculate?
Well, I think it's what I said before. Because of labor, they want the cheap labor, and the Democratic Party has taken the position that these people, like 3M said, will vote for them. So they're looking for votes. They're doing favors. They're passing out real stuff of taxpayers to get the illegal vote. He's trying to get the illegals legal. He's giving them amnesty. And this judge is saying, and I love the fact that we have what's called a balance of power in the judiciary, but you have to take a case to the judiciary. They can't act proactively like the legislature and the executive branch. And he's kicking Obama in the nuts, figuratively, legally, and to say you can't do this shit. You've already said you don't have the authority. Obama is preempting Congress.
Yes, exactly.
He's preempting. He's becoming a dictator.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't have that authority.
To what has been estimated as, now close your eyes and imagine 11 million people. That's
more than that. Debbie.
Oh, it's more than that now? That is the number of undocumented immigrants
around 20.
in the United States. Wow.
It's double that. And the next wave, I'm sorry, but once this wave gets, and they still haven't secured the border. Those lying bastards.
Now, does this have to do? Is this people that come over from Iraq and all those places over there? That he could be swearing in ISIS people. Is that right?
Of course, the borders are unsecure. Period. And you shouldn't be giving amnesty. Let's just say, which I don't agree with, but let's just say you're going to give amnesty to these people. Okay, without securing the border, there's going to be another wave. I mean, why shouldn't there be? Oh, and let me answer 3M's question. 3M, your question as to who's wealthy, 1 year's salary in reserve. And that's not me saying that. That's CFP, Certified Financial Planners, saying that. I think today that would put one in the wealthy category. What do you think?
But, Mr. Solution, do you know how many people, if I were to hand them a check in the amount of their yearly salary, would burn through that in 3 months?
About 99.8%.
That's right, because usually the people that have money are the people that know how to handle money. You don't blow money and spend money. You have to manage money.
Exactly. And Debbie, do you know why? Well, I got it from the CFPs, but I also logically deduced it. Do you know why I used the 1 year's salary?
No. Why?
And that can be net or gross. Is because that's what a person is living from. That's what they're living. In other words, that is what they're most familiar with. If a person says, well, in order to say $1 million, but have you ever had $1 million? Have you ever known anyone that had $1 million? And the answer usually is no. You have to deal with what you know first. And if one can't conquer that 1 year's salary, I mean, game over. Unless they win the lottery, good luck.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that have won the lottery that are broke as you know what. I'm serious. I read an article on that one time that talked about how people that have won the lottery are now flat broke.
Or worse off than they were before.
Or worse off than they were before they won it. Exactly. They're in debt.
How does that happen?
Well, they buy things and go in debt. For example, the Kardashians are $52 million in debt right now with automobiles, houses, credit cards, and things along those lines. That's fact. $52 million. That's collectively, the Kardashians, every one of them, not just, there's no such thing as a Mr. and Mrs. because the Mr. turned into another Mrs., but he did. Can you believe Bruce Jenner turned into a female? I told y'all that he was turning into a female, and it was correct. He's turning into Bridget.
I used to respect that guy. He was like was he a triathlon? No. It was
No, he was just a runner. He just ran the long. What did he do, Mr. in that movie?
No. He did more than that.
He won a couple. He won quite a few medals. Let me just wait. Can I respond real quick? So, Mr. Solution is saying that government giving into lawlessness and rewarding lawlessness, that it's really not going to affect the wealthy. And I say that giving into lawlessness and giving subsidies to individuals who break our laws affects everybody. It doesn't affect everybody equally, but it affects people. Over.
Well, 3M now, first of all, understand this in context. I'm violently against that. I mean, everything I've said was in support that what Obama is doing is wrong. And that's why I was praising the federal judge. What was his name? Judge Hannon? Or
I don't remember the name of the judge.
I'm sorry, Debbie. What was the judge's name again?
Sir, it is, I'm already off of that page, but it was, his last name was Hannon, Hanen, correct?
Okay, yeah. We should keep his name forever in our thoughts. Judge Hannon. Now, I'm just saying to you, 3M, as a backup, see, the wealthy are very resilient. They're very resourceful. That's how they got to be wealthy.
So they shouldn't be concerned with lawlessness and
I didn't say that.
Hold on a second, because you said they're not affected by it. You're acting like
no. What I said is it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't.
Well, I guess if Hitler gets in office, they don't have anything to worry about. Like I said, politics. But you're saying it does. Look, everybody should be worried about who's in office. People should be worried about, like I said, people giving money to lawbreakers. Sooner or later, we're going to have a sort of anarchy, and nothing's going to work. Like I said, we already give people money just for fucking and having children. Right. It used to be when you fornicated, you were responsible. Nobody else. And if your family helped you out, you were lucky. But you know what? Your family was responsible, for your family. The government had nothing to do with it. I mean, and the first form of welfare used to be a widow's pension. We assumed that the person would already be married before they got any form of government assistance. And now it's like, hey, if I decide to fuck some dude and have the government take care of it, that's fine. And now if they're illegal aliens, they're entitled to the same type of poverty shit programs. And it's going to be, the more poor people that come around that are dependent, it's going to make it shitty for a lot of people, and including the wealthy. Who, it may not, like I said, it may not affect them to the degree that other Americans are, but it's going to affect them.
Okay, well, I think we can talk about degrees, but remember, all I want to say to you, and this is not something that you and I need to bicker over unless you just want to bicker, which I don't, is that the wealthy are resilient. That's why they're wealthy. And so regardless as to what happens in the system, they are, and nothing that bad is going to happen in the system. You just admitted that if the system resets, that's the word I like to use, say if the stock market crashes, which is doing just great now. In fact, I haven't checked it today, which I should. The wealthy are going to remain such for the most part. That's all I'm saying.
And what percent would you say are wealthy? The people who can have a year's worth of salary. What percent of Americans are what you would say are wealthy?
Okay, well, let me just ask you. Okay, like you think? I would say out of roughly 311 million, maybe about between 20 and 50 million.
So over 250 million are going to be on the suffering. That's a lot of millions of people to be on the suffering end, while other people are perhaps high on the hill. And I would say that it's perhaps even less than that. And like I said, I think it affects people, and it affects people differently. Just as a smaller person getting punched doesn't get the same reaction as a big person getting punched. They're still getting punched, and it still should be something that people are concerned with, because even the wealthy like to go to the stores and like to go to the shopping malls, and the more poor people there are, the more crime the more crime there's going to be, the less safe things are going to be. Even the wealthy like to go out into the public and have fun, and the poor make things less fun. And the way the culture of the poor is going, they make it horrendous. Over.
Oh, great. Well, look, are you about to? Okay, it sounds like you're about to panic, and I would caution you against that.
Oh,
but
caution against.
Yeah, don't panic.
No panic here.
What kind of stupid things being said tonight?
Hey, what's going on, JP?
Hey there, hey, Mr. Solution. I missed your call. I saw that you called.
Yeah, I was just trying to get you earlier, but it's been overcome by events. We're here now.
Yes.
3M is just kind of panicking, and I agree with him with regard to the illegalities that are going on, how the Democrats, and I think the Republicans are, in compliance with the Democrats in giving away so many resources to illegals. But it's being fought now. That judge is giving a lot of people courage because he's standing up to Obama. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we need that. We need people to stand up. Mr. Midnight Movie, don't be scared. We'll fight this.
Well, JP, he's all in a Twitter now, in a tizzy rather. He thinks that the economy is going to, he says, go to pot, and that a lot of people are going to be hurt economically.
I never said that.
Oh, what did you say?
I said there's a there's a possibility. I hear a lot of people saying that $18 trillion is a hell of a lot of money, and prepare yourself accordingly. That the economy could implode, and you know what? That should be a scary thought to any rational person. Okay. Bottom line.
Okay, but wait a minute. Let me ask you a question though to put that in perspective. Okay, that is the national debt. What is the GNP? What is the gross national product? You have to compare those two, because say for example, if you are $250,000 in debt, which is a lot, but if you earn $5 million, it's manageable, correct?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I hear it's kind of high, but like I said, and the interest on the debt, and I don't know enough about it. I'm just listening to the naysayers, and I'm not hearing. Hold on a second, I'm not hearing too much, and maybe it's just because the Chicken Littles are the ones out there, and I've heard Chicken Littles over the years, but it seems like this is getting louder and louder, and yeah, it does. It does cross my mind. And if things go bad, look, man, I am on medication, and if there is hyperinflation, I'm going to be fucked. I'll probably be dead. I'll be asking for more than $50,000 from my BTR father.
We'll help you out.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry about that. But we have your back. But look here, what I would like for you to do.
That's assuring. I'd probably commit suicide if I had to, but okay.
What I would like for you to do, to put that number in perspective, the national debt, look up both the GNP, gross national product, and GDP, gross domestic product.
Is that on the national debt clock? Would that be on there? I'm just asking.
Okay, but look it up. Do a little bit of homework. Don't be scared.
Did I say I was scared? Jesus Christ!
You just said you were scared.
I said I was scared about the possibility of the economy imploding and things going bad.
Right, but notice the word. Yeah, notice the word you use, and I gave you another word to use. You may want to look that up. I gave you. You used the word possibility. I introduced the word probability. You may want to use that. Once you look up GNP and GDP as compared to the national debt, you may see it's not so dire.
Well, I'll definitely look that up. GNP to GDP. Okay.
And fair enough, you had never heard of those before, correct?
No, I've heard of those words before. I've heard of words like NASDAQ, GDP, and gross national product.
Okay, but I don't think you knew what they meant.
Gross GDP, gross national debt, gross national product. I've heard those words before. I've heard those words bantered about. I took an economics class in high school. Not in college, but high school.
Well, I just gave you an example of like being $250,000 in debt. That's more money than most people, earn or have. But if a person has that much debt and they earn, say, between $5 and $8 or $5 and $10 million, when you put it in perspective, it's not so bad, right?
Yeah, sure.
And all I'm saying is that $18 trillion may be manageable when you compare it to the overall production rate of the economy, because the economy is much larger than its debt.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's
but how about the interest on the debt?
Well, that's a separate issue. And look, I concur with you that it is something to be concerned about, because that is a large amount of interest being paid. But I do believe it's manageable, and the Armageddon, the financial Armageddon that you see looming, may not be on the horizon. That's all I'm saying.
You might be, and I hope you're right. I'm hearing a lot of people say 2016, we're going to be, a lot of people are going to be butt raped.
Now, you should put a check in the mail for my comforting you, to me.
Well, I haven't been comforted yet. And if I get the semen splurge up the rectum of an economic downfall, I'm going to be looking for you with some butt wipes, being very angry.
I'm sharing with you now, and I've been sharing with you for quite some while. I've told you to get that 1 year's salary in reserve, which is what CFPs and financial planners tell us to do, financial advisors. And if you get that, you'll feel a lot more comforted.
Well, I'm putting some of my boogers in a Kleenex for a rainy day, and
there you go.
Excuse me. Hello. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Debbie.
I know.
It was a little bit of guy talk over there.
Little bit over the top. I was okay.
I have to be sometimes a little bit, I don't know, just for my own.
Did I ignore the semen? Remark?
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you.
Boogers aren't even as bad as semen, Debbie. You have to.
Oh, no comment.
She just got fed up.
All right, I had to, Anyway, where the fuck is Poverty Supreme? Where did he go? Is it? What time is it in England anyway?
We may have to reschedule. Yeah, there is a bit. I think it's about 9 to 12 hours.
Goddamn limey.
I don't know. It's 7 hours ahead. I used to get Zeki sometimes.
Oh, 7 hours?
Yeah, so.
Do you think Zeki's ever met Poverty Supreme? Wait, he's Chicago.
Doubt
isn't
it.
he?
Very serious. Zeki is London. Oh, that was the wrong picture. No, Zeki is London.
Now Zeki's kind of lefty. Do you think he would get along with Poverty Supreme?
Negative.
Okay.
No, he would go, who is this on your show, Debbie? This guy that is talking to me. He's very uppity, so to speak, Zeki is. So, Poverty, if you're out there listening, where did you go? What happened? Where are you?
If you can hear me, Debbie, we may have to reschedule. But I think they 4-year visa or something of that nature. And I'd like to ask him also, if I forget, maybe you guys could remember to ask him, would he prefer to be in the U.S. over being in London? And also about that 40 year, they get a chance to work, I believe, for 40 years and then turn to their native country. I think I have heard that stated. But Poverty is a cool guy. He does talk about economics. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he does talk about economics, and he has a deep interest in that subject. And communication, by the way, male-female communication. Over.
Yes, well, Poverty said that you told him about my show, and that's the reason he came over. And he said that he sometimes gave you the what for about being an Uncle Tom. He said that he had to school you a few times about not being an Uncle Tom. Over.
Yeah, but see, now you can introduce the bullshit, but he never schooled me on anything. What we have discussed this evening
got schooled.
is at a higher level, on the political level. We talked about the Black Caucus, Obama, and the NAACP being more in favor of illegal immigrant benefits or benefits to illegal immigrants than they are their necessary constituents. And I don't impact, and neither do you.
Now, Mr. Solution, what made you go over to shows like Poverty Supreme and TRS? What interests you in those shows, if I may be so bold as to ask?
It's just conversation, and the same reason that you go over. I mean, and those people, some of those people seem to be issuing a desire for help, right? And there is help. Like take Sarge, for example. Sarge is a brilliant man, and they never use Sarge to the degree that they could. And I mean using him in the sense of getting the information from him. Sarge is a font of information. He has plenty of information. Sarge is a self-made man. He studied on his own, and he's done a very good job of it. Sarge is actually a scholar, in my opinion.
Well, I think, Mr. Solution, their cry for help, I mean, in my opinion, if you tried to help them, if you ever went over to the project that they were at and you tried to help them, I think that there would be, some, at least some flogging, TRS flogging done by, there would be Mr. Solution being flogged, or, if not brutally beaten. But go ahead.
I know you're being comical now, but
true. Come on, Mr. Solution. If you ever went into one of their housing projects,
hold on a minute. I'm responding to you. Now, it's just like I don't come in your project. Why should I go in theirs?
Well, because you said they're crying for help, and you're trying to help them. If you ever went over like a good Samaritan and gave them a good lecture, I don't think that you would last very long.
But 3M.
Unless, of course, you had a
3M.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, I was in the midst of saying that unless you had a police escort and were armed yourself.
Okay, ha. All I'm saying is their cry for help, or at least the way I interpreted it, just like your cry for help, was here in this platform.
Still crying for me, old man.
In this arena. So, I mean, what you're doing now, and it's okay if you want to make up a joke and laugh at it, but it's the same thing.
You're fucking way.
What?
Say that, by the way.
Bitch. You're fucking way.
Why? Okay. Go ahead, Mr.
Nothing. I just played a drop. That's all. Sorry. I was playing a drop by Mr. Midnight Movie.
That's my way, bitch. You're fucking way.
Sorry.
Why did you?
I don't know. I just played a drop.
This is it for most of us. I mean, this is as far as it goes, most of us. And, human information, I mean, if, like Debbie and I talked about this before, some good information is passed along for those who want it. They'll pick it up, and those who don't. Most people that come on here are fixed in whatever state they are. And there are few that aren't. And the message that gets to those who want to improve based on what they hear, that'll happen. And the other people, like you, for example, do you think, well, you've told me that the 1 year's salary you picked up from me, and you're working on that, correct?
Hello? Mr. Midnight Movie?
Yes? Oh, yeah, yes. I said correctamundo, and I wasn't going to say, because Debbie would get upset about the Kleenex.
Yeah, don't say anything filthy. Just leave that out. This is not the scat show.
But what was I going to add? Yeah, look, if you think they're a cry for help, no, they're angry and they want to vent. And like I said, and I don't care what they say on the radio show if they hang up on other people. The only problem that I have with people like TRS is they can bloviate all they want, and particularly if they're out in public, they can bloviate all they want. But if someone like me comes around and wants to give them the verbal what for, they want to take it to a physical level. And that I deeply resent. And they are basically taking away from my First Amendment rights. And I would like to be able to be armed and be able to basically defend my rights much stronger and be able to do that in a court of law as well. Thank you. Over.
JP is such a troll.
But
how do you not love this, Debbie?
He says in a chat room. Oh, I can't believe Debbie is missing this chat and Skype. And Andy Bong says, a warm shower sounds good, because I told him I was going to go take a warm bath, and he says warm, a worm, like what you put on the end of a thing to fish with. A warm bath sounds good. And even if I was married and my wife was hanging a worm bath, I would come in. JP said, this one's for you, Andy Bong. And then Katie says, worms? And JP goes, worm bath? But then JP says, you two make a beautiful couple. Andy goes, thank you. And Katie goes, JP goes, Andy could talk about Jesus and Debbie and Katie could plop out more kids and play kissing games. And then he says, oh my God, he's so bad. Did having twins make your boobs gigantic, Katie?
Oops, that pissed her off.
I'm just wondering if you had to change the clothes that you wear because of the babies, or did your body go right back the way it was to be? Katie answers, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And JP, I'm not answering your stupid questions. He answers, got milk? I'm kidding. Come on, Katie. Oh my God, you're so bad. Oh my God, what are your plans for the future? Andy says, on Thursday, I'm going to go to Longview Police Department on my Ustream channel. And that's all. I was just reading my chat last night after we got off the air.
Last night's chat was funny.
Oh, you're bad. You are very bad.
Oh, boy.
You just crack me up. But
it's a nice break from hearing these two go round and round and round.
I have listened to every word, and they have made a lot of sense. There's been a lot of information on this show tonight. I'll give you that much, absolutely.
Thank you, Debbie. Fuck you, JP. I'm kidding.
Thank you very much. And
yeah, I learn every time I hear these two go at it. I learn something. Usually, it's to not get mixed up in it, but it's.
They
still
don't fight on my show, don't you? I mean, I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. And like I said, what the hell was I going to say?
Probably.
I think something. Whatever. Oh God, I'm thirsty. Okay, I'm going to go on mute while I get some water.
Okay. Well, I just want Mr. Solution to know that we were ready for poverty tonight, and I guess he just either forgot or didn't show. I'm not sure.
I was promised Poverty Supreme, and Solution didn't deliver. Like he didn't deliver on that $50,000. Thank you. Over.
You're going to dehydrate if you don't go drink some water. So
Here, drink some water. I took a sip.
Oh, okay. Well, I wish he would have showed up. Well, here's what we'll do. If you're out there listening, Poverty, or if anybody knows him, we'll leave the door open. Any night you call in, and Mr. Solution checks the show every night, I think, to see if we're on, and if we're talking about anything worthy of his appearance. If you call in, Poverty, and Mr. Solution checks in and hears you, I'm sure he'll call in too, and we'll have a nice discussion. Seriously. We don't ambush people on this show. I don't allow anybody to get bullied or ambushed, even Andy Bong. So,
I felt a little bit bullied today, but that's okay. Over.
Oh, jeez. I did the best I could to deliver Supreme, but look, he's in England. Come on. I don't know. He probably had something to do.
Like sleep?
Well, no, I think he works. And
don't
I'm pretty sure he would have been here because he said he would be. And like you leave the door, you left open, and I'm sure he'll take you up on it.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, Mr. Solution, and you do not have to answer this. My name is Debbie. Mr. Midnight Movie's name is Brian. Jewish producer is Joe. I hear people all the time call you Rich. Is your first name Rich? He didn't answer that. That means it's... No, I'm joking. I've been just being serious. I mean, I think it's a beautiful name if your name is Richard. I think that's very sexy, very distinguished name. But I hear people on TRS even refer to you as Rich. Were you at one time known as Rich, or why do they call... Okay, why do they call you that?
Excuse me?
Why do they call you that, sir?
No, it's as you said, but, I mean, I adopted the name Mr. Solution because that's what I'm oriented toward, is a solution and settling the matter. You know, I agree. Yeah, the whole position is to be happy, not to use the problem as a means of existence. Just bullshit, and it's interesting to know how he gets things done. But most people do things, if they're successful, they're going to do things similarly. And so my position is that always just hearing people talk about the problem, I'm like, okay, what's the solution? Or do you want a solution? A lot of people really do not want a solution. They're invested in the problem. So that's.
And I want to talk to you sometime about the male-female dynamic. I have a whole new perspective on a whole spin on the female-male dynamic that I don't want to get into it tonight because the guys are here and they'll go, that's a bunch of bullshit. But no, it's...
Hey,
sir?
I'm sorry, Debbie. Write down this case, Debbie. Eric Holder, Bauer, I believe it's B-A-U-E-R. Let me double check it. But Bauer, this guy was an FBI agent. He was an FBI trainee. So it's Bauer versus Eric Holder. Please get that case. It just settled in 2014. And read that.
Victor knows about that case. Victor, he's talking about the Eric Holder case. I think Victor...
Okay, go ahead.
Victor is familiar with Eric Holder more so than we know.
Can I mention that I consider Brian my slave name and I don't answer to it? Mr. Midnight Movie, over.
My slave name. Why don't you take the Hawaiian name of "Come on, I want to lay you"?
That guy is fucking funny. 3M, you should be producing things. I mean, I don't know what the.
Why don't you write that weed and seed money check for 50 grand, maybe
Weed
100?
and seed check.
You should be discovered. I'm just saying, this guy is funny. He makes it. Even in his bullshit, he's funny.
In college, he was a member of Tap a Keg a Day, and I felt a thigh. I'm so full of myself, I crack myself up.
I spent a lot of time in college at the bookstore, the adult bookstore.
That wasn't funny, Mr. Midnight Movie.
Fuck it. I can't. Well, you know what? My old man thought it was funny. My mom thinks I'm cool.
Oh, you're a mess pot. Now,
Tough
before anybody leaves, I want to show y'all something really funny that I found today. Let me sit back up. I was laying down talking to you mullets, except for Mr. Solution. He's not a mullet.
I was hoping we were going to get the first Black Beetle on today, but we weren't going to get a chance to talk to him.
The first Black Beetle! That was great.
Did I say that case will be so pivotal in discussing the male-female?
Oh, actually, no. I may be thinking of the wrong person. Now, you said B-O-W. I've got my pencil. B-O-W-E-R versus...
No. B-A-U.
B-A-U.
E-R.
E-R.
I think his name is Jay Bauer versus Eric Holder.
Eric Holder. Great. Okay.
Now, I'm going to check that just to make doubly sure.
Yeah, go right ahead. Take your time. Okay, and while we're waiting on that, I want y'all to crack up at something that made Victor just absolutely lose his shit laughing. Seriously, it did. And here it is, coming up now on the Debbie Daily Show here tonight. And this is really funny. I thought it was. Victor thought it was great. I mean, Victor was losing his shit laughing. Easy to be hard. Where did it go? Oh, I know where it's at. Here it is. It's over here on my Safari. I was on my Chrome. And here it is on Safari. Happy birthday, dear Victor. Happy birthday, dear Victor. Happy birthday, Victor. Happy birthday, Victor. Okay, and here it is. I see it, but I don't see the one I'm looking for. Well, I'll just look for it over here. Okay, hold on. I'll just do a search for it because I know where it's at. Okay.
The Oscars are this Sunday, by the way.
Oh, really? We'll have to have a party. Okay, check this out. This is really kind of funny. Keeping up with the Spanish tradition and Spanish theme of this evening. Take it away.
This is the Onion News Network. Better news, better viewers.
As soon as Kyle Johnson heard about his school's policy of requiring students to take a foreign language to graduate, he knew it was un-American.
You know, I just basically thought Spanish sucked. What's the point? I'm American. I speak American.
Rather than go along with the policy, Kyle began boycotting his Spanish homework and leaving his tests blank. Kyle also lost one of his Spanish textbooks and bravely spilled a Mountain Dew all over another.
Do you see yourself following in the footsteps of great Americans like Thomas Paine or Paul Revere?
Yeah, totally. I've never heard of those guys, but I'm not going to do any Spanish shit, and no one's going to make me.
But like many other patriots throughout history, Kyle's views did not always make him popular. His classmates dismissed him as obnoxious and a moron. His teacher even punished him for his principled stand against Spanish.
How did you find the strength to keep going when people tried to silence your message?
You know, I don't really care what they think. Like, they're a bunch of faggots, so they can all blow me.
Rather than be forced to learn a foreign language on American soil, Kyle eventually stopped going to Spanish class entirely and courageously began spending that time in the convenience store parking lot down the street from his school, trying to convince homeless people to buy him cigarettes.
Kyle, everyone at the Onion News Network was so inspired by your patriotic fight that we actually created a petition against your Spanish teacher. Over 80,000 viewers signed it. Due to that extreme pressure, your school was forced to fire Senorita Miller today.
Really? That's awesome. She sucks.
Thank you, Kyle Johnson, for reminding us that it's not just our troops who are fighting every day for our freedom. From Beyond the Facts, I'm Jean Ann Wharton.
Thank you, Jean Ann. And that is our nightly Onion report from the Onion Network. Pretty funny.
Good God, Allah.
Yes, good God, Allah. What is that thing you always say? Halaka makamay, or what is it?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. What is that?
It's peace be with you. Mr. Solution, have you ever been to a mosque?
Hello? Over?
Over.
Have you ever been to a mosque?
Why do you ask these?
He's just trying to get you to say something stupid. Stop it.
I don't recall having been. Debbie, I'm going to try and send you this. This is a wonderful case. Oh, I love it.
Yes, I want to see that. I can put that in my repertoire and blow some of my attorneys away with it. Oh, well, how did you find that out, Debbie?
This is fantastic.
Can I use it in a divorce case or what?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a change coming because, you know, women now are going to be required. Well, first of all, the ground combat restriction has been lifted. It was lifted back in January of 13. And now there's a battle in court to get women to register for the Selective Service. But also this case with the FBI, it says FBI analyst sues, claims one push-up kept him from being a special agent. So...
Wow. That's amazing. Get in line and sue for anything you want to sue for. I'm telling you what. Wow. Oh, man. Oklahoma doctors can now legally pretend to give abortions, as reported by The Onion. Let's listen to that since we've got a little lull here. Or after that, we're going to hear what Google shuts down Gmail for 2 hours to show power. Here is Oklahoma doctors can now legally pretend to give abortions.
Is the Onion News Network a tomahawk of honesty?
This is a play on what we talked about one night, Mr. Solution, the idiocy involved in women pretending to get abortions to suck money out of guys. Like, let's say we're all 24 years old and I'm dating Mr. Midnight Movie. Oh, Mr. Midnight Movie, I think I'm pregnant. I need to get an abortion. I need $600. So he goes and gets $600 and I go on a shopping spree. You would not believe that is rampant right now in the community of 21 to 26-year-olds. They're doing it in amazing numbers. Thank you. I see that. Thank you. So this is a little play on that. This is a spin on that.
In the skull.
Did you get it?
Yes, I see it.
It came without my... Okay.
No, I saw it on the Skype. Yeah, I saw it already. I get a desktop notification of all Skype messages. I see them all come up. But this is just kind of a spin on the fact that girls are fooling guys that they need abortions. If anybody's out there listening and you are of dating age or whatever, if you're dating a girl that's of childbirth age, if she claims to be pregnant needing an abortion, go with her to the doctor and verify the pregnancy first, or you will get sucked dry of money.
Eyes.
In another corner of the heartland, Oklahoma announced that it will be taking a new approach to the hot-button issue of abortion. The state legislature passed a bill today making it legal for doctors to just pretend to give a woman an abortion and then send her on her way. On his radio call-in program today, Wendell Mack called the new law a win-win method for reducing the number of abortions. Let's listen.
The doctor doesn't have to turn a patient away or perform an abortion against his morals, and the woman gets a beautiful baby. I don't know why we didn't think of this before.
For some lightning quick expert analysis on this issue now, let's go to the Fact Zone's first responders. Paula, let's start with you. Is this law a good idea?
Well, if this plan is really going to work for Oklahoma, they have to provide doctors with the proper training to perform fake abortions, and that means acting lessons.
Exactly. You don't want a doctor performing a fake abortion and hamming it up. I mean, he can't be like, and now I'm removing the contents of the uterine wall. She's going to see right through that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, these doctors have got to be 100% believable when they pat the woman on the arm and say you can go home, but don't have any alcohol for 7 months as you heal, or, abdominal swelling is normal, whatever it is. Right. She's got to really buy that.
I love The Onion. They're so crazy. They're so funny. They're just hysterical. Yes, I saw that, and I will do that, Mr. Midnight, Mr. Solution. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I will do that. And so there we go. I think that's it, boys. Is that it for tonight?
That is all. Like I said, the Oscars are on the 22nd. I don't know if there's going to be a pre-Oscar show, Debbie, if you're going to do one.
Of course there are. We're going to do one. Mr. Midnight Movie. We're going to do one. I'm going to make a sheet. I'm going to get an online sheet, and you, me, Jewish producer, and anybody else, call in. David, anybody out there listening, call in. We're going to make our choices, and we're going to have a pot, and you will win the pot.
There we go.
Every time you make a bet, it's $1, and we will have we'll have like a Calcutta here.
That's correct. Put it in your Kleenex.
Yes, put it in your Kleenex. No, shut up.
I didn't.
You made me say that.
You just repeated. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what a good internet wife does. I've declared myself on Spreaker Mrs. Midnight Movie. Have you seen my sock account? Mrs. Midnight Movie.
Let me.
Victor's
on what? On
Spreaker, I have a sock account called Mrs. Midnight Movie. Victor
has to work even harder.
Yes, he does. And I get the ability to go like this, clunking on the head when he does something wrong, or kick him under the table.
Well, you will get you can get all my old 5-hour energy drinks. I think you can redeem them for something.
Ugh.
I take those daily, by the way.
I've never had one of those. Do you recommend those? I heard that,
No. They're deadly. They are dead. They are deadly. They can kill a child.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I heard a report the other day from the FDA, not the FDA, but from the what is called the WHO saying that the newest report on energy drinks are that they actually are bad for people, and they can actually kill a young child ages 5 and under if you give it to them.
But aren't they sucrose? I mean, aren't they mainly sugar?
They're sugar and caffeine. They're the most deadly.
Well, they're sugar-free, basically, but
sugar-free?
They're a boatload of caffeine.
They're not sugar-free. Who told you that?
I'm reading the bottle right now. I have it in front of me. 5-hour energy drink, sugar-free.
Well, go ahead and keep reading, because there's ways to hide that. They don't call it sugar. They call it something else.
Corn syrup.
What are the ingredients?
High fructose.
Oh, yeah. They have a way of hiding the word sugar. I have done an entire show on that. It's an absolute... It's the biggest drug addiction in the world is sugar. It's horrible.
3M, do they keep you up? I mean, what do they do to you?
Well, basically, when I have a long work day, I take one and I feel a little bit better.
Wait
anyway,
a minute.
Yeah.
No, you're not hanging up until you tell me what's in them, because I think that might be what's going on with your diabetes. What's in that sugar? What's in that drink?
Let me take a look here.
The caffeine sounds good.
It has vitamin B6, I think it's niacin or niacin.
No, look under ingredients.
I'm under the ingredients. Niacin,
okay.
folic acid, 400 milligrams, vitamin B12, sodium.
But no, you're looking under, Angel, you're not looking under the ingredients. You're looking under what it has in it as far as vitamins and minerals. What are you drinking?
Okay.
5-hour energy drink? Is that what it's called? I'll look it up.
5-hour energy drink. Go ahead and look it up.
You're just scared that it's going to have...
I'm not scared, dude. I put all kinds of stuff in my body.
Here we go. Active ingredients are... Hey, maybe you're right. Okay. 5
You owe me another steak, Debbie.
No, haven't even read it yet. Let's see. What's in it?
Sizzle.
Cycling, tyrosine, phenylalanine, taurine, malic acid, gluconacetone, caffeine. Good God. Large amounts of vitamins, niacin flush. Nice. It does not contain aspartame, which is, some people call it aspartame, but I pronounce it aspartame, yeah.
That's sugar, or sweetener, excuse me.
Now, why do they say that they are full of sugar?
Well, what I want you to do, Debbie, when I come to Texas, I want you to make me a 5-hour energy drink smoothie.
Oh, and how many times have you been wrong to me? Over 9,000 billion. Good morning.
I think you may be wrong, and then again, you may be wrong. But with that, I have to get to bed, Debbie. I'm
don't make me beg.
What are you?
I like his bed habits. I mean, he does get to bed.
Yes, he does.
What time do you get up, 3M?
Usually around 6 or 5 in the morning.
Okay, so you get about 7 hours.
5-hour energy drinks have now been linked to 13 deaths with 30 life-threatening illnesses. There you go. You are right. It does not have any sugar in it, but you might as well just pump yourself full of gasoline or rocket fuel or meth, pure meth.
Debbie, if you can find me some, I'd surely appreciate it. But yeah.
Well,
anyway,
those are some interesting chemicals, but the one that we know is caffeine, correct?
Yeah, this has a boatload of caffeine.
You know, I honestly believe that drinking one of those would kill me.
How does it taste, 3M?
It's not tasty, but it does the job of like when I'm tired and I'm sluggish. It kind of helps me out. Anyway, with that said, I gotta get up early in the morning, guys. So
good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Take care.
All right. Nighty night.
Good night. Well, I'm sorry we didn't have Poverty Supreme, sir, but nonetheless, we had a good show. I think it was informative.
Oh yeah, I think he'll be here at some point.
I hope so. We'll leave the door open for him. He's welcome any night, and if he will call in, and if you go over to their show and have a show with him, please, if you want, let me know. I'll be happy to be on the show with you.
Yeah, please do. Now, I was telling 3M, he comes on. His show is on Friday and Saturday.
Oh, okay, that's a good time.
Okay, just Friday and Saturday, no other day.
Good. But again, my props to you last night on the way that you handled Tyrone and his thugs that he had on the other day when they attacked you. You did that brilliantly.
Yeah, well, let me thank you. Tyrone thinks that it just goes one way, that he can just debunk the Christian position or even the scientific position without offering one of his own. And all I do is just turn it around on him, very, very basic, and say, well, you have to give an explanation for reality. So what's your explanation? And then obviously that's when he goes into his backpedaling mode.
And he let his thugs off the leash. He sicked those thugs on you.
Well, I mean, yeah, and right.
He
but
did.
You know,
he did. He unmuted those guys without even telling you, and he knew they were going to attack you, just like he did that night with Brown Beasley when I called in, or whoever did that. So.
Right. But, you know, I mean, I don't know how long this will last. And you notice they have started apparently to wind down. One of the things that were characteristic of his show is that they were on every night. I mean, for long, long hours. And they're not on that much anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, I will catch you later, and good show, and we shall meet again.
As always, it's a pleasure having you, Mr. Solution, and I will bid you adieu. Good night, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. Well, I'm hoping Jewish Producer hung up. I just realized I forgot about Jewish Producer. Oops. Oops. I forgot about Jewish Producer. Okay. I have some things to close out for. The other night, somebody requested this song, and I saw it after the show went off the air, so here is the song that was requested.
Waiting in line to donate plasma so I can buy more crack. I always listen to the Debbie Daily Show.
Too many puppies are being shot in the dark. Too many puppies are trained to bark. That must be spilled to the wind.
Hi, I'm Katie from the page.
Too many puppies.
This is Lester Bartholomew Jones, and I just want you to know that I never listen to the Debbie Daily Show. That's a fact.
Too many puppies I've tried to heal. Too many puppies I trained to kill. I make a man wearing my defensive by mistress sleep animal pills. Too many puppies. Too many puppies. Too many puppies. Too many puppies.
Josh Peterson is a huge sucker. Jewish Producer, what is wrong?
How many ways are you going to ruin our lives, Debbie? Let us count the ways. Let us count.
That's my way, bitch. Do it your fucking way.
Hey, my name is RD, and I never, ever listen to the Debbie Daily Show.
Else Brandon number one.
It's a true story. I went to IKEA to go shopping, and I said, we got to get the meatballs. That day, or maybe the next day, IKEA was serving horse meat in their meatball.
She sees, she says she wants everything she wants. I see she gets. That's my daughter in the water. Everything she owns, I bought her. Everything she owns. That's my daughter in the water. Everything she knows, I taught her. Everything she knows. Everything I say, she takes to heart. Everything she takes apart. That's my daughter in the water. Every time she fell, I caught her. Every time she fell. And that's my daughter in the water. I lost every time I fought her. Yeah, I lost every time. She blinks, she strikes somebody blind. Everything she thinks blows her tiny mind. I love you.
I want to stop that song for just a second and tell y'all the reason I played it. I was remember last night when I was playing all those songs from the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s? Well, I turned on the playlist, and it's an actual playlist, and this one hit in the 80s. And when I heard that song, I literally was struck dead in my tracks. And I'll tell you why. It's an interesting story. It's a sad story, but it's an interesting story. When my little brother got killed in the 80s, it happened very, very suddenly. It was very tragic. Vic, are you remodeling? Are you remodeling, baby? And, okay, I remember the last time I saw him was I had gone out to visit in West Texas, and I had stayed at the Roadway Inn, which is off Loop 289 in Lubbock. And he had come over because I was leaving. I had moved away from Texas Tech University, and I had come back, blah, 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 blah. And I had come back, and for reasons that I don't remember, I stayed at the Roadway Inn. He drove over that day because he thought that I needed a ride to the airport. And I did not need a ride to Lubbock International Airport. I was actually driving back to Dallas in an automobile that I had purchased while in Lubbock. As I drove away from the Roadway Inn, he stayed there with me all day, and we had a great time together. This was the last time I ever saw my little brother alive. We walked out together, and he put my suitcases in my car, my new car, and he got in his truck. And as I drove to the, they call it the Mixmaster. It's where one highway intersects with another highway, and it has the big crossover. You either go over the high bridge or the lower bridge, and you go this way, and they're going all this way and that way. I'll never forget, as I turned and looked, and he turned to go south on Loop 289, he turned and looked at me. Hang on. And he waved. And for some reason, I remember, it just it sticks out in my mind. Hang on, hold on. Okay, it sticks out in my mind that I remember looking at him and waving, and he was flashing his lights on and off, and I waved goodbye. And I remember reaching down and turning on my radio. Now, the reason I remember doing this is twofold. Number one, I remember I had just bought this car, and it had an amazing stereo in it. And number two, I wanted to hear my uncle's radio station as I went out of the city limits. I wanted to catch it as long as I could. Now, at that point in time, my uncle owned a classic rock radio station. And I'll never forget, and for some reason this is just, you know how certain things are just emblazed in your memory, and I've always told you guys that I'm all about music. My whole life has been about music. And as I turned, and looked and waved goodbye, this song came on the radio station, and for some reason, I'll just never forget that. It's just one of those things that you never forget. Wait a minute, I'll start it over for everybody. This song, not you, this song.